Honeydew Carpenter and the always beautiful Mrs. Honeydew Carpenter. We're deep in the where the Rocky Mountains and the Bitterroot Mountains of Idaho
Trying to adjust
come
that.
together on our homestead. And if you guys have been following us on Patreon, you'll know I'm making some improvements and changes based on our research this past winter to the rocket stove. And it's pretty exciting stuff because I created a form that allows us to pour a core for the stove in one shot. You know, you don't have to pour it and then fold it up and do all this other stuff. You just pour it and it's done. And it's a pretty incredible form, and we're really quite excited about it. And so, hey, Snowflake, our new puppy. But it is just absolutely a grand, beautiful morning this morning. I don't know if you guys can see down the valley, but it's still beautiful and green. We're getting ready to go into July, and up here in the Pacific Northwest, you get weather systems that start clear over from the ocean by Seattle and whatnot and come across, and it just stays green and beautiful most of the year. You know, in toward the end of July and into August, it starts browning up a little bit, and then come October and November, the rains come again and it starts getting green again.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's just absolutely beautiful. We're working on several projects right now. We've got solar projects that we're working on, greenhouses. Our garden this year is just crazy. It's doing wonderful.
I'm super excited about it.
Now I know why back in the day they called farmers sod busters, because I mean, the first year when you break that sod up, it's we had very little soil and whatnot. But then the next, after those roots kind of decayed in the ground and whatnot, and we got to rototill them in, our soil just ended up being just deep, thick, lush soil. And it just changed the dynamic of everything. I just think it's going to get better and better every year. Mrs. Honeydew has been getting into grafting of trees and whatnot. And so you take rootstock that does really well in the area where you're at, and you can graft any variety of, like, say, for instance, apples onto that rootstock. And so we have a little orchard started and whatnot. And so it's going to take time, but over a period of time, we're going to have some really neat situation up here.
Although, even though my garden is doing so well, I still don't have a root cellar to store everything in.
Oh, the chickens took that over. So I do need to build another root cellar, and we've got to get some wood sheds and just different things built and going.
Yeah, and then it always seems like, you know, when you're busy doing a bunch is when, you know, stuff happens. So we're down to one vehicle because mine decided to die on me. The fuel pump went kaput. So we've been trying to get stuff done with only one vehicle, and I tell you, sometimes that's no fun.
I think I'm going to end up crawling under the vehicle today and dropping the fuel tank out and replacing the fuel pump.
You'd be my hero. It's been difficult, you know, because you think, oh yeah, I need to run and do this, and this today. Oh wait, I can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, we've been down to one vehicle for 2 weeks now. So
yeah,
And it's just been one thing after the another. We were waiting 4 or 5 days for the fuel pump to get delivered, and then we've just been go since then. We've been helping 2 other families that are homesteading, helping them, get their footings and their forms in so they could build their cabins and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so that has been, and those relationships are important when
They
you're up
really
here.
are.
We really depend on our neighbors and whatnot.
They truly, because one of the families we were helping traded us rock, which is amazing, and another family we have been trading or helping, they are the ones that taught me how to graft.
Yeah, and that
So-
rock is like really important for the infrastructure up here. Even though it's kind of a mild grade and whatnot, we still need flat spots with water on them to host, workshops and whatnot. So people have a place to park and pitch tents and do things that they need to do to be here. And so we're excited about that rock getting installed and put in. Because I have a huge flat pad up there. And yeah, it's
Right, let's see, do we have any comments? Tubular Guy 9 says, yay, pouring, you guys have the best view in Idaho. Aw, you're so awesome, thank you. And thumbs up, everybody. And it looks like that's all so far.
well, awesome.
Well, thank you, Tubular.
I know.
Commenting.
Yeah, and I know you guys are wanting us to start doing the Aircrete and pouring and doing some of these Aircrete experiments, and that is the goal.
Yeah.
But you have to have everything in place to do it. They say don't move into a house until it's finished, and now I know why. Because every time we want to go and finish a room or do something, we've got to move everything out of it. And it takes us a couple days just to get prepped so that we can do these things. But,
Yeah. Especially when you have no storage space, and the only storage space you have is where you're living.
yeah, I wish I still had that shipping container.
It's
And then we'd have a place to move that stuff out too.
right.
But, we're just doing the best we can.
It's a fun experiment and a learning curve, but it's been a wonderful journey.
Right, and the whole goal with it was we need to be on a property where we could live with our rocket stove. That's what it's all about, and that's why we did this. And not to mention, we love the view, and we just like living up in the mountains.
There's so many days that I just feel amazingly blessed with this view. There's times that you struggle, that you're having a hard day, and you can just kind of come out, sit down for a few minutes, and take a big couple deep breaths and get rejuvenated. It's wonderful.
It's like healing for the soul. It really is. Do we have any other comments?
Let's see. Health Wealth says, "What's up, broski?" That's your friend from Boise.
Oh, Troy.
Troy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had a brain fart there for a minute. I couldn't think at all. Hey Troy, how's it going? And yeah.
When are you gonna come visit?
The view is great. He's like, yeah, brain fart. Yeah, I totally had one. Yeah, come visit us. Hello. Jim Alice says, hi from San Diego County. Spent the morning cutting firewood. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
We need to spend some mornings doing that, but my goodness, it's... When are you going to cut the firewood?
Yeah, I've got to cut it into rounds. We went out and grabbed a bunch of logs from a slash pile.
Yeah, you remind us of things we need to do.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you're ahead and you're getting your wood cut. That's awesome, Jim. Health, Wealth, and Freedom says soon. I hope he says he'll come up soon. Hopefully,
Right.
right? That'll be awesome. We have been working really hard to try and get ready for the Aircrete class and trying to get stuff up and going for that. And please stick with us because we are trying really, really hard.
Yeah. This whole experience has been way harder than either of us had ever imagined.
Way harder.
There's been lots of trials and tribulations and hardships. But in the end, I think it's going to be worth it. It's kind of weird because, you know, you come up, you're in a little camper, you have a porta potty, and you have a bathroom tent, you know, and you have to go outside and to take baths and do everything, and it's kind of fun at first.
It's like camping.
Yeah, it's like camping, but after about 6 months and you get deep into a winter, then it starts to wear on you a little bit, and every little goal that we set, you know, get rid of the porta potty, get the septic system in, get the, you know, and set up a tent, and then we had a shower and a flushing toilet, and we were like, oh, this is awesome. And then we got our skeleton up, and we got it kind of dried in, and we were able to kind of move into it. And the only reason we were able to do that was because of the rocket stove and how amazing it is, and how many BTUs of heat that you can actually extract out of just a little bit of wood in that firebox. Any other wood stove would have never allowed us to live in an uninsulated 1,600 square foot home without some type of other heating system. It's just absolutely amazing.
We actually invited some friends over to have a little fun family game night, and we were playing a game. And I said, you know, it is a little cooler than your house. It's uninsulated, so just, you know, wear a sweatshirt or something. And they came over, but they were really pleasantly surprised with how warm our house was.
Yeah.
They're like, that little thing?
Yeah.
That's all you have?
And it just has this little teeny firebox, 7 inches by 7 inches, and it's when people actually witness it and they see it and they see how much heat that you can actually extract out of wood when it's burning efficiently, it just blows their mind.
Yeah, it really does. And then they were wondering when they first came over, they're like, oh, do they even have the stove going right now? Because we don't smell any smoke.
Right. Yeah, they were like, it doesn't smell like you, because their cabin, they burn a normal wood fire in it, and there's always some residual odor, and you can kind of smell the creosote being made and whatever. It just, you know, ours burns so clean and so hot, it doesn't give off an odor, and
it's kind of awesome.
Kind of amazing.
Jamala says, hi from rural San Diego County. Spent the morning cutting. Oh, I already read that one. Soon, I hope. Hello from Carolyn. Hello, Carolyn. Red and April off grid. Hey, you guys. It's awesome to hear from you guys. Yes, definitely nice to get a few utilities in before moving. We had our solar almost in and our well drilled. Oh, you guys are doing awesome. And RHG says, hi. Well, hi back. Alrighty.
Oh, yeah. When we moved up here, we were like, oh, we have access to this shared well system. But when we got up here, we realized it was a half a mile away.
Yeah.
You know, and we were just like, okay. So even though our well was drilled and in place, you know, trenching 3,300 feet of water line was no small feat.
No.
And it wasn't just like topsoil we were trenching through. It was a lot of rock. And I mean, there were some days when you'd spend all day on the excavator and only go 100 feet. And but then, you know, when you get into other softer areas, you know, you could make some really good headway. But I think it almost took 2 weeks to dig that 3,300 feet.
It was crazy. So Red and April, that is awesome that you're getting a few utilities in and almost got your solar. I'm happy for you guys. From Missouri. Well, hi from Missouri. The Red and April says the extreme cold would be a huge challenge. Glad y'all are doing well. Aw, thank you so much. Lisa says, hi, I'm trying to remember if you tried the Aircrete planter pots. We have made a raised planter bed out of Aircrete, but we have not done individual pots.
We haven't done individual pots, but you know, you could either do round or you could do square. And I mean, the square one obviously would be really easy, you know. But the crazy thing about it is we were just back in Idaho Falls 2 weeks ago getting some stuff, and that planter box has been in 4 years. Not a crack. It's just perfect. The stucco mate that we shot the hard shell on the outside of it, I mean, it's one of Melanie's mom's favorite planter boxes, and it's 4 feet wide and 10 feet long, and it's 18 inches tall, and it's just amazing. And then the Aircrete doghouse is at her mom's place, and it is still
up and doing good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just great. It'll be there for 20 years, you know. It's amazing.
All right. She says, I love you guys. Hang in there. We need your experience. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. All right. Is there anything else you want?
No. Guys, be thinking a little bit about micro hydro. We're wanting to do something like that as well. I don't know if it'll happen this year, but it might happen next year. The thing about it is in the winter time, you get a lot of cloudy days at once. And so we're probably going to have to run the generator occasionally to charge up the solar batteries. That being said, we have a seasonal creek that runs from, you know, the end of October all the way through. In fact, it's still the spring is still giving off about maybe a half a gallon of water a minute right now. But by the time it runs all the way down 200 feet around our drainage and out and then into the creek bed, it doesn't even make it down the hill to the pond before it evaporates because it's such a small amount of water. And so I'm thinking that eventually I'll need to, you know, put some solid pipe from the spring all the way down into the pond, just to mitigate any evaporation. Because I mean, when water's just running over the grasses and the lands down into the pond for 1,000 feet, you lose a lot from evaporation. And so but you know, just that's why I want to do micro hydro though, is in the summer when we have tons of sun, and the creek isn't running, it's no big deal. But then in the winter, when you don't have tons of sun, it'll be great to have like a 500 watt charging system on a micro hydro that runs 24/7.
That'd be awesome. That'd be way awesome.
And would augment any sun that we have.
Tubular Guy 9 says, take care and good luck with the class. Hoping the video, or 12, right? Red in April off-grid says, we have been out here 2.5 years now. Our passive design house is done and we just finished helping our son build his house.
Awesome.
That is awesome, Red in April. Wow, good job, you guys. That's
what
awesome.
area are they in?
I forget.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Awesome. You guys have a wonderful day and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Love you guys.